Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Golfing with Xavier, and I have another awesome video ready for you guys today. I'm super excited to make this video. You guys probably can't tell because of the tone of my voice because I just woke up from a nap. I just got back from work. but it is a manga haul video, one that has been months in the making, like 6 or 7 months. I've been holding off on making this video, so I'm super excited to finally make this video. It's about 110 volumes in total. As you can tell from the thumbnail, it's a huge assortment of different mangas, you know, a lot of variety that we're gonna be talking about today. So yeah, super excited about that. The last time I made a collection video was, talking about all my manga here in the background. And so if you haven't checked out that video yet, I'm gonna put it up in one of the top corners. I forget which corner it pops up in because I'm new to YouTube. So yeah, it's gonna pop up in one of the corners. You just click that and you can watch the video on how I talk about my collection that you'll see on the background. But we are not talking about that today. We're gonna talk about all the manga I've picked up since then. And yeah, there's a lot of different series that I'm excited to dive into. If you guys haven't already, I would super appreciate if you guys could click that little red button down below that says subscribe. I got a ton of new manga videos coming up after this because the weather outside, it's snowing here in Ohio. Go figure. So I haven't really been able to make much golf content, unfortunately, hence the name Golfing with Xavier. But I do plan on making some other videos just to keep you guys entertained. But yeah, let's dive straight into the manga haul. I'm super excited. Alright, so the first series that we're going to be talking about, or not talking about, but the one that I picked up is Slam Dunk, 1 through 31, the whole entire series. So yeah, I picked this up from a secondhand seller, and man, it is all in this plastic wrap here. So I'm just going to be showing off what the covers look like. I'm not going to be diving too much, because there's 31 volumes, and there's a lot of other volumes that we got to get to today, so I'm not going to be diving too much into what every single volume looks like. But the fun fact about this is that this particular assortment of manga that I picked up is actually a Malaysian English print. So when I was buying it off the seller, I saw all of Slam Dunk for a pretty, decent price. And I asked him, I was like, is there something wrong with the series? Why is it so low compared to what I usually see? Slam Dunk's a pretty hard to find series, especially all together. And so I was talking with the seller, and I was like, what is wrong with the series? Why is this price so low? And he said that it was a Malaysian English print. Now, I've never bought anything Malaysian English print or anything that's not like official manga, if you will. So this was all brand new to me. And I asked him what the differences were, and basically it's just as the title sounds, it's just a print from the real thing onto the pages. So I've been flipping through the manga themselves to see what differences I've noticed, and a lot of them is having to do with centering. So a lot of the centering's off. Oh, sorry, that is 12. A lot of the centering might be off. Shading is a big thing. It's not horrible. Don't get me wrong. These aren't bad quality volumes by any means. But yeah, the shading's been off. The centering's been off. But really, that's been it. The translation's just fine. It comes straight from the real deal. So not really much else to talk about there. But like I said, this was my first time ever buying a non-official manga, if you will. And I do buy most of my manga from like the bookstore and stuff like that. So no, I don't. I do support the creators just as you should. And if you are doing that, I strongly suggest that you get out there and you buy from the bookstore. First off, we got to keep our bookstores open. I think it's unfortunate that we see a lot of bookstores closing and stuff like that due to everything going online. So I try to support the bookstore, but also supporting the manga creator as well. Get them their equities and stuff like that to let them know that they should keep making series like these. Now Slam Dunk's an older series, so don't get me wrong, you can't really find Slam Dunk out there at like Books A Million or Barnes & Noble or however you get your manga. You won't really find it out there because it is an older series, but I'm talking more recent series, if that makes sense. So anyways, that was a long rant. We're coming up here on the end. This is 25. By the way, talking about the covers themselves, these are very unique. I absolutely love the Slam Dunk covers. I know Slam Dunk, obviously, basketball manga. One of the most famous, if not the most famous, basketball manga or anime. And I can't wait to dive into this series. So yeah, here we go. Number 28 coming up on the end here. Yeah, these covers are so unique compared to what you usually see with manga. This one especially, just the different styles. Awesome. Number 30. And last but not least, I also really like how they did this horizontally. Number 31. Oh, put it upside down. But yeah, that is all of Slam Dunk. I can't wait to finally read this whole entire series in its entirety. I got lucky I got my hands on it the way I did. And yeah, on to the next one. All right, next series I'm going to be showing off here is super, oh my gosh, I can't say that word, super popular right now. I'd say it's right behind Attack on Titan with popularity, and that is Demon Slayer. I know the second season just came out, so I have, what do I have? I have 1 through 18 here today, which is not the full series. I believe there's 23 for the manga, and if you were looking to pick up the manga, they just released the box set, which have been flying off the shelves. I mean, they're all completely sold out from what I see, and then you have people staking up the prices way higher than what it actually should be. But yeah, the box set is out, so if you just wait for them to restock, I would ease you to, ease up on buying, from secondhand sellers right now, especially with the box sets for Demon Slayer. But yeah, the box set is out. The manga is finished. Like I said, I believe it's 23 volumes in length, and the anime I think is on season 2. I was very hesitant to watch or read Demon Slayer because of the art style. And when I first saw it, a year ago, whatever, the art style was very off-putting to me. Don't ask me why, it just was. So it took me a longer time to get into it, but man, I should have dove into it way sooner because this is such an awesome story. I went and actually watched the movie, the train movie, and that was an awesome experience. It was the first ever anime, manga, whatever you want, anime movie I've ever seen in theaters, so that was such a great experience. I went with all my buddies. And it's not as nerdy or whatever as you might think. It's just like any other movie. I watched it in subbed. I watched it in subbed, which was kind of interesting because the screen's absolutely humongous, and you have the text down at the bottom. So you're trying to watch the movie and read the text at the same time. So maybe I should have watched it in dub, but I've always watched my anime in sub. So I know that's always a huge debate, subbed versus dubbed. I could care less. Whatever the best way is to, watch, get intact with the series itself. So yeah, like I said, this art style was very different to me. That's why it took me so long to get into the series, but it's also what makes it so unique, I think. Don't get me wrong, the story's still interesting and amazing as well, but it's the art style for me that really sets it apart from other series. So yeah, here's the last one. This is book 18. So I'm missing a few. I'm going to be picking them up, obviously, to complete the whole series. There's no reason I'm not going to collect all of Demon Slayer. I think I'm about halfway through the manga right now, and it's such an amazing story so far. So I highly recommend you guys, if you haven't, either watch the anime or pick up the manga yourself. So yeah, on to the next series. Alrighty, so the next series that I'm going to be talking about is Ultraman, and it is going to be 1 through 15. That is the whole entire series. So I picked this up secondhand from another seller, and again, I saw it at a decent price. This is a manga I don't really see in many people's collections or really talked about much throughout the community. I have not finished reading all of it, so I can't really give my comments on it so far, but reading it so far, I've enjoyed the story so far, and I know it's based off like an old Japanese cartoon character, if I'm not wrong on that. I could be completely wrong. If so, correct me in the comments or whatever, but yeah, and it's kind of turned the whole story around from being this kind of goofy, I mean, if you look up pictures of Ultraman, you get this like goofy, like 1980s Japanese cartoon character from what I've kind of just looked at briefly, and now this story completely flips that on its head, and it's way more serious, and it really, the subject matter is a lot more heavier, if you will, and I absolutely enjoyed that. I mean, you can tell from the covers, it takes itself pretty seriously. So yeah, I decided to just pick up the whole series because it was there. I might regret that. I don't recommend people, if you're just getting into a series or don't know much about it, I don't recommend doing what I do, which is buy the whole thing and then find out later if it's good or not. I would not recommend doing that. I would buy the first 1, 2, 3 volumes, get a feel for it. I'm just weird. I definitely made that mistake with this series right here, Claymore, where I bought the whole box set and then I ended up really not liking it, and you're kind of just stuck with it at that point. So I highly recommend, easing your way into a series before you just go out and buy the whole thing. So don't listen to my advice, basically. Here is number 12. But yeah, like I said, it's a series that I don't really see talked about much or really seen in many people's collections. I'm always looking on YouTube and looking at other people's collections, see what series are being talked about, seeing what series I need to pick up myself. I know that gun manga is one that I need to pick up, and also Chainsaw Man is another one that I need to pick up that everyone is talking about right now. So yeah, this is the last one. This is volume 15, And that is all I have to say about Ultraman. So on to the next one. Alrighty, so sorry if the angle is like off slightly in between cuts. My camera just ran out of storage, so I just had to completely retrace my steps on everything because I was still talking to the camera and it was just completely out of storage. Anyways, sorry about that. That is it for really the big chunks of manga, and by big chunks I mean like the 1 through 18, the 1 through 31. The rest of the ones I'm going to be talking about are kind of just smaller in size. And so the next one that we'll be talking about is Parasite 1 through 4. And if you don't know Parasite, I highly recommend getting into it. It's an awesome anime or manga, however you want to watch it. It was one of the first ones that I ever watched personally, and I never finished it from way back long ago. Whenever I started watching it, look how cool this cover is, just so unique. Whenever I started watching it, however long ago, I never finished it. So I was at Books A Million, Barnes & Noble, wherever I was, and this one's pretty cool too. And I just had to pick it up. There's 8 volumes in the series in total, so I have half of it right now. Usually the later half of the manga you never see, so I'm gonna have a fun time finding the rest of the series. But yeah, that is Parasite 1 through 4. I highly recommend. Again, if you haven't, seen it or read it at all, I highly recommend picking that up. So the next series I know little to nothing about. This is Asaidora. The only thing I know is that it's from the same manga creator, which is one of my favorite, which is Urasawa. That's the creator of Pluto and Monster and 20th Century Boys, which are some of my favorite mystery manga of all time. So this is the same series by him. And you can tell it's his art style right off the bat, off the cover, if you know Urasawa's work. So yeah, this is another series by him. I have 1 through 4 of Asaidora, which I'm guessing is how you pronounce it. I have no idea. But yeah, pretty interesting. I was flipping through it, so how I got the series, I should probably explain that. When I was buying from the secondhand sellers, he kind of just had these 4 books laying around, and he was moving or something like that, and he just threw them in the bundle for like an extra charge or something. That was pretty cheap. So I picked up the series because I figured, why not? I can't wait to read it because all of Urasawa's works have been phenomenal so far. So I couldn't imagine this one's, any different. So yeah, that is Asaidora. By the way, these covers are very colorful, very different from what his regular work is. So maybe this series is completely different. Maybe it takes a different look on things. So yeah, that is Parasite 1 through 4 and Asaidora 1 through 4. I think we're about halfway done, so on to the rest. Alrighty, so coming up here, I have some of my bigger volumes, like in size-wise. So I have Prison School 1 through 3. This is number 3. I don't know why we're going backwards with it, but we are. So that is Prison School number 3. This is number 2. And then last but not least, we have Prison School Volume 1. So, funny story about this. I knew nothing about Prison School. Like I mentioned earlier, I watch a lot of manga YouTubers and see what everybody's up to date, and I kept noticing that Prison School was in mostly everybody's collection. So I knew nothing about the series, and I decided to just pick it up because, why not? It's got to be good if everybody's picking it up. This was not what I was expecting out of a manga. This is not really up my alley, to say the least. I'm not going to really talk about what it's about and all that, but needless to say, if I was flipping through these pages here on YouTube, the video would get immediately taken down. Well, not immediately, but yeah, you get my point. It's not really up my alley in that regard. It's not what I was expecting. And again, like I mentioned earlier, this is why you check out a series first before you just buy the whole entire thing. Because I was tempted to just buy all of Prison School, and I would have had a huge regret. So, but yeah, that's why you, that's why you check out a series first before you buy all of it. So that is Prison School 1 through 3. Not really much to comment on that. Maybe a series that really didn't connect with me. Maybe it'll connect more with you. I have no idea. So yeah, that was Prison School 1 through 3. Next up, we have one of the coolest manga that is in my entire collection. You might have seen it in the thumbnail. This is Hellsing Volume 1. And these are the deluxe editions. These are the $50 US editions. These are hardback. I don't even know if you can hear that, but these things are absolutely insane. They're beautiful. Dark Horse did a wonderful job with these. I mean, these things are just absolutely phenomenal. Obviously, for the price, you would expect that. The pages are absolutely huge. This is no spoiler. I just wanted to show this off. But the pages are absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I highly recommend if you have some money to spare, if you've been saving up, I would highly recommend picking up. Well, first off, Hellsing in general is a great series to pick up. But the deluxe editions that they've been coming out with are absolutely insane. So yeah, that is Hellsing Deluxe Edition number 1. And now I also have Berserk Deluxe Edition, go figure, that also Dark Horse has been coming out with. This is volume number 2. Now, if you haven't followed Berserk, it is one of the greatest manga of all time. No really debate about that. I'm not saying it's the greatest, but I'm saying it's one of the greatest. The anime kind of gets a bad rap for stuff. But yeah, the manga for sure is an absolutely great series, and they've been coming out with these deluxe editions, and they've been, like the same thing with Hellsing, absolutely phenomenal. So this is number 2. It's still in the wrapping, as you can see. I haven't dove into it. And if you're wondering where volume 1 is, it is over there. I already have it. You might have seen that already in the manga collection. And this is volume 3 as well. Same exact thing, just the numbers change. Obviously the content's different. But yeah, that is Berserk 2 and 3 and Hellsing number 1 deluxe editions. Very expensive, I'm not gonna lie. Picking these up, I only pick up like 1 or 2 per year. I don't really have the money to be buying all of Berserk and all of Hellsing. I'm guessing just like anyone else, you got to be, you know, timely with how you pace out buying these things. But man, they're definitely fun to get your hands on. So yeah, we just have a few things left. That was Hellsing Volume 1, Berserk 2 and 3, and Prison School 1 and 3. On to the next. Alright, short little segment here. I'm just covering 3 little volumes here before we dive into the last of the haul. Sorry if this video is a little longer. I like to chit chat about manga. I could talk about manga all day, so I'm trying to make it shorter, but yeah, this is going to be probably a little longer video. Anyways, we have number 5, Volume 1, which is weird to say, but yeah, this is an interesting manga that I picked up. Like I said earlier, and I've probably repeated myself a couple hundred times by now, I watch a lot of manga videos online, and I've noticed someone gave this a great review. I can't remember who, so I'm not, I can't give a shout out, unfortunately. But yeah, apparently this series is pretty interesting. The art style is way different. Let me see if I can't find a good page here. I don't know how well that came up on camera, but yeah, the art style is very different, and that's really what's, you know, got me to pick it up. So that is number 5, Volume 1, and then we also have Akame ga Kill Volume 6, completely different from the other one. I already have Akame ga Kill Volumes 1 through 5. They very rarely have any volumes at the bookstores past Volume 5, so when I saw Volume 6, I had to pick it up. I believe there's 14 in this series. I could be wrong, could be completely wrong. But yeah, Akame ga Kill, great series. And last but not least, we have Buddha Volume 1. I don't even know if this would be considered a manga. I believe it would be considered a manga, but it does read normally, if that makes sense. So front to back instead of back to front, like your typical manga. And I think it has to do a lot with the, well, go figure, Buddhist religions and stuff like that, and the teachings and stuff like that. And the cool thing about this is it has the same thing that Pluto has, which is the facing on the side. And if you collect this version of Buddha, as you collect the volumes, kind of the face ages, and you can see the Buddha really develop through the spine art, which is absolutely beautiful. And it's really why I wanted to collect the series. I don't know much about really what's going on in the book, but what drove me and what usually drives me to pick up manga is the art style and or the spine art or the, you know, cover art. So in this case it was the spine art, and you can look up a picture to see what I'm talking about. But as you collect the Buddha manga, as if it was going this way, the faces age, and you can see the Buddha really become enlightened, and you know, he gets all this jewelry and stuff like that, and he ages obviously as well. So yeah, super cool. A little bit different from everything else. You know, it's a little different from Fairy Tail here in the background. Way different actually. But yeah, that is Buddha Volume 1, number 5, Volume 1, and Akame ga Kill Volume 6. On to the last part of this collection. Haul, I'm sorry. Alrighty, so quick story time before I dive into this last haul. None of these manga are manga that I am going to typically keep in my collection. This instance, I was on the website that you typically buy secondhand manga from, and I saw that the seller was selling all of her manga at a very cheap price, and these aren't manga that I typically pick up, hence, let's just pull out one here. This is Cat Volume 5, and these aren't typically manga that I buy by any means, but I saw that they were at such a cheap price, and she said that she was either going to donate them or throw them away if nobody bought them. So I actually ended up picking up all the manga I'm about to show from here to the end of the video for I think like $20, which is an absolute steal. I'm gonna break my talking here for a second. This is Cat 1 through 5. No idea what the series is about. Like I said, this is from a lady collector's collection. Not that it matters, but so these might be more towards a different genre, if you will. So yeah, that is Cat 1 through 5. No idea what the series is about. I'm not gonna be talking much about these series because I don't know much about them. Actually, I do know a little bit about this one. It's very popular. Black Butler 1 through 5 coming up here. But what was I saying? Oh yes, I'm sorry. So yeah, I picked up her whole entire collection for $20, which is an absolute steal. I'm either going to be giving away these manga if you guys think I should do that, or I'm just going to be selling them back at a very cheap price, same way that she was. The only reason that she wasn't able to sell them, you know, for a good price is that she was moving very quickly, so she had to either get rid of them now or, you know, give them away or whatever she was going to do. Here is 1 through 5 of what is the name of this? This is High School Host Club. Yeah, that's right. This is also very popular. I can't stand this art style, by the way, with the big eyes and the not for me, 100% not for me, but it is for certain people out there. So if it's for you, who knows? So yeah, this is 1 through 5 of that. Like I said, I'm not going to be reading most, if not any of these series, but I did want to help her out in, you know, passing on her collection. I hope someone does the same thing for me whenever I'm old and gray and whenever I pass away. I hope somebody either donates my entirety collection or, you know, sells it on to someone else that would appreciate it just as much. So yeah, obviously I'm not really talking about much of these series. I don't know much about these series. I'm just kind of showing them off to you guys. Here's Kingdom Hearts. I know what Kingdom Hearts is. Don't know anything about the manga. I think that'd be kind of interesting. Oh, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh in here. It shows how much about these volumes that I don't even know what all is in here. But yeah, a little bit different from what we were talking about a few minutes ago. Here's the last. Oh, I do know Lucky Star as well from the anime, and also just clips online. So it's Lucky Star 3 and 4. And then we have 2 more. That's an interesting cover, isn't it? And then last volume. There we go. So yeah, like I said, those volumes are not really for me. I was just helping her out in buying her collection. I'm going to be reselling those back into the market for a stupid low price, or just donating them, or maybe even giving them away to you guys. Who knows? I don't know what I have in store for all the manga I just showed off there at the very end. But yeah, that is my entire manga haul for the past 6 or 7 months in its entirety. Like 110 volumes or so. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'm sorry that is probably a little bit longer of a video. I don't even know how long this video is going to end up being, but my apologies for it being so long. I could talk about manga for hours if I wanted to. Which is probably not a good thing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great year so far. I know I am. And yeah, hey, if you want to, I would greatly appreciate it if you can click that little red button down that says subscribe. It would help me out a ton. And also leave a comment, you know, what manga have you been picking up recently? What manga have you seen from my collection that you are going to now put in your collection? Things like that. I'm always down to have a discussion down in the comments. So thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.